Dutton Ranch.
This life here is gonna work, isn't it?
We'll make it work.
Starring Kelly Riley,
A legacy is a beautiful thing, but only if it survives.
Cole Hauser,
What's going to work?
Ed Harris,
Family is the only thing worth fighting for.
and Annette Bening.
I can make this a lot harder for all y'all.
And peace will have to wait.
Dutton Ranch, new series streaming May 15th on Paramount Plus.
Check, please.
No, I got it.
That's the second time this week. And you got a new smartwatch. Did you get a raise?
Nope. I got a refi on my car loan with EECU Credit Union.
Can I get one too?
Sure, just call 888-351-0551. They'll beat your current APR by 2%. I saved $100 a month.
$100 a month? Heck, with that kind of money, I could buy lunch for you.
Plus, I got up to 90 days to make my first payment.
Is the process easy?
You bet. Fast, too. And EECU is a local lender with a friendly staff. Just call 888-351-0551 or visit eecu.org/beat-your-rate. Tell them your current APR and they'll beat it by 2%.
Can't beat that.
But hurry, it's a limited time offer. Call 888-351-0551 or visit eecu.org/beat-your-rate.
Subject to credit approval. Actual monthly savings may vary. Floor rate is 5.29% annual percentage rate. Membership required. Not valid with loans currently financed with EECU. Additional terms and conditions apply. Call 888-351-0551 for details. Now open in Stephenville.
You know how some places just feel right the minute you get there? That's Little Rock. Start your morning with coffee by the river, spend the afternoon outside, trails, parks, neighborhoods you'll want to explore all day. And when the sun goes down, concerts, great food, award-winning craft brews, and just enough unexpectedness to keep the night interesting. It's easy, it's energetic, and it's way more fun than you might expect. Plan your visit at littlerock.com. littlerock.com. And I promise you, you'll love you some Little Rock.
The Ticket Ticker.
Ticker's brought to you by All Pro Foundation Repair and Reliant Air Conditioning. Off night for the Texas Rangers as they hit the road for the next 9 games after back-to-back series wins, including a walk-off against the Diamondbacks 6-5 last night. Manager Skip Schumacher.
For them to come back could have been a difference of a deflating or inflating clubhouse right there. They're super excited, especially after giving it up in the 9th inning.
The Edmonton Oilers will be looking for their 10th head coach in 15 seasons after they part ways with Chris Knobloch earlier today. Knobloch led the Oilers to 2 finals appearances in his 3 seasons behind the bench. And in the NHL, Round 2, Game 5 out east, almost halfway through the third, the Sabres trail the Canadiens now 6-3 out in Buffalo. That is the Ticket Ticker. I'm Jay King on Sports Radio 96.7 and 1310. The Ticket.
The problem is not with your radio, and nothing is screwing up the stream. This time, that's just us, busting up whatever is on the air now for Deep Night Ticket Fun. Live from the Musers Ticket Compound, and brought to you by Higwood Property Tax Consultants and Sports Radio 96.7 and 1310, The Ticket. We now take you to our bunker bunkhouse at an undisclosed location of our choosing for after-hours compound radio hijinks.
From an undisclosed location in the Kingdom of Blaine Nye, this is Junior Coast to Coast, America's most provocative and least listened to radio program. Be warned, this is the radio show the government doesn't want you to hear. And now, here's the provocative and popular Junior Miller.
Well, we meet again. The sun has set here in the Kingdom of Blaine Nye, and so we can commence. A very warm welcome to Junior Coast to Coast. This is the program that deals with everything the government tries to cover up, everything elite society tries to cover up, everything science tries to cover up. This is the program that deals with the truth. This is also a safe space where people can come to share their close encounters with space aliens, with Sasquatch, and with urine. Frankly, it's a miracle that we are on the air tonight. The past 6 months have been a living hell for yours truly. Government officials have been trying to silence me. Thus far, they have failed. I've had to hire my own personal security team, to not only stay on the air, but to stay alive. I now have 7 armed guards, 4 of them from Eastern Europe, trained in Sistema, 2 of them named Rolf. They're stationed around the property as we speak, and I have 7 trained attack dogs. They may not look like much, but dachshunds have very sharp teeth, and they know how to use them. And as was the case last year at this time, if you were with us, you might remember, I have again been sent a cease and desist order. This time not from the Department of Homeland Security, but from the Department of War. And even though this could backfire on me, I don't care at this point, so I am going to read what they sent me aloud on the air at this very moment. Dear Mr. Miller, you are hereby prohibited from broadcasting your famous coast-to-coast program. We at the Pentagon are monitoring your every move. We have determined that you are a total jerk, and if we hear you exposing the truths that we are trying to hide, we will make sure you are not only stripped of your broadcasting license forever, but you will also be stripped of your driver's license as well as any hunting and fishing licenses you hold. This is your final warning. Signed, Peter J. Hegseth, Secretary of War. As you might imagine, that didn't sit well with me. So I spent a good day crafting this response and sent it to Secretary Hegseth. And it read, Dear Mr. Secretary, make me. Signed, the Junes. P.S. If you don't start releasing the UFO, UAP files that you've been keeping secret, I will mobilize my loyal listening audience, along with my security team, which includes vicious guard dogs. Don't push me. And guess what? It worked, because I sent that on May 7th, and on May 8th, the Pentagon released 170 UFO files, previously top secret, covering incidents from 1940 to present day. And I've had many of you get in touch with me, wondering my thoughts, and so here they are. To say the least, the release was enlightening. In the opinion of this reporter, we now have the irrefutable evidence we have long craved on this show. Here are just some of the accounts that were in the first file dump. February 18th, 1947. Leland Sammers, a farmer who lived 14 miles west of Stockton, California, had some visitors. His quote in the report, I was standing near my hog pen about 150 feet east of my house when I heard pheasants raising a disturbance and the chickens all rushed into the chicken house. I looked toward the house to see what was causing it, and something hovering just above the house is what I saw. I ran toward the house, and it lowered over the north end of the building. It just wobbled around for an instant, fire belching out of it and sucking back in. Suddenly, there were a lot of sparks showering from it, and it took off in a northwesterly direction, gaining altitude as it went. August 4th, 1947. A Pan American airliner traveling the route between Gander, Newfoundland, or Newfoundland, and LaGuardia Field in New York came upon what appeared to be a flying gold-colored cylinder about 15 feet long and 3 feet in diameter. And one of the pilots estimated the speed of the object at about 175 miles an hour, and that it was traveling in an easterly direction. The other pilot spotted a similar object on the other side of the plane, and the sightings continued for about 90 seconds before both UAPs vanished from view. I just got chills. A report was even filed by the Gemini 7 mission on December 4th, 1965, after the two-man spacecraft had reached orbit, separated from its upper stage booster, and turned around to face that spent segment of the rocket. The astronauts were Commander Frank Borman and pilot Jim Lovell. They saw not just the upper stage, but a bunch of debris particles around it and another larger object they could not explain. Both filed reports that said they could not identify the larger object nor where the debris may have come from. Now, these are two of our great American heroes, our most trustworthy people, astronauts on a Gemini mission, and they are seeing things they can't explain. One of the files among many that have been covered up. Why was the government covering this up? That's a great question. They think we can't handle this kind of stuff? I think we're all handling it very well right now. Sure, it's giving us chills, but I think we're doing okay with it. And how about a couple of more recent incidents? The naval aviator encounters, and two of these have been accompanied by video evidence. In 2013, a squadron of FA-18 fighter jets headed out for aerial maneuvers off the coast of Virginia Beach, and during the course of the exercise, the jet radars picked up a cluster of a half a dozen objects flying along with them, moving acrobatically. At some moments, they would rip along side to side at 400 miles an hour, and then suddenly they would stand perfectly still in winds that were gusting to 172 miles an hour, gusts that had the jets struggling to maintain position, but these objects were perfectly still. The objects had no visible exhaust, according to the file, no discernible means of propulsion, and looked nothing like any aircraft in the nation's civilian or military arsenal. Wow, more chills. Measuring 5 to 15 feet across, they were a dark gray or black cube inside of a clear sphere, according to Navy Lieutenant Ryan Graves, who was aloft that day. He said, "We almost hit one of the objects, came within 50 feet of the lead aircraft, and that's really when we knew we were dealing with something a bit abnormal here." This is a Navy lieutenant, 2013, fighter jet pilot, who made this observation and report. And then how about the New Year's Day 2024 report? A spacecraft with a football-shaped body with 3 fin-like projections, 1 pointing vertically, 2 pointing downward and matching 45-degree angles. The hovering object, also detected by infrared sensors, remained visible for just 9 seconds before disappearing. Why 9 seconds? I think we all know exactly why. And that's just a small example of what has been released so far, thanks to me and my threat to the Department of War. My immediate takeaway, confirmation that we have been visited by space aliens, and because of the variety of spacecraft reported, I believe we have been visited not only by Martians, but also by beings from as far away as Andromeda, from what I can tell. 350 million people have gone to the government website to access these files, and I have it on good authority, 320 million of those are listeners to this show. And I think now all of our listeners know what we've been talking about for years has legs. And in the case of our visitors from Andromeda, likely 7 or 8 legs. We don't just talk UFOs and UAPs on this program. We talk about all things involving the paranormal, the unusual, the doubted, and that includes Bigfoot. Lyle Blackburn, noted Bigfoot expert and cryptid documentary filmmaker, joins us next on Coast to Coast.
Guys, I'm Devin. I'm a nurse practitioner. I'm the clinical director of our new location of Men's Tea Alliance. I'm trying to tell you guys to come in, stop the cycle of treating symptoms without getting to the root cause. Come in, have a conversation with me. We'll get your biomarkers. We'll get you an individualized plan to help get you to your goals and get you optimized.
They will customize a treatment plan for you just like they did for me 6 years ago to get you back to being you. You guys heard Devin? Check them out today. 6 convenient Men's Tea DFW locations. Go to mensteaclinic.com, mensteaclinic.com.
A Vivint home is a smarter home. Vivint lets you keep an eye on your kids from anywhere, so it's a smarter way to care. Because Vivint adjusts your thermostat when it knows you're out, it's a smarter way to save. When Vivint guards your packages from prowlers, it's a smarter way to protect. And when you can lock the doors and dim the lights for movie night with a single tap, well, that's a smarter way to live. To get the smarter home system that just gets you, go to Vivint.com or call 1-855-4VIVINT. Live intelligently.
Relax and let Kroger Delivery handle your grocery shopping this week. We start with only the freshest items. Then carefully pack your order in our refrigerated trucks. And our cool trucks keep your food fresh right to your door. Fresh groceries your way with Kroger Delivery. And right now, you can save $20 on your first delivery order. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
In a city as big as Dallas, a plain white van is just another face in the crowd. You're driving right past your next customer. Start standing out today. Image360.com. Image360, your one-stop shop for custom signs and vehicle wraps. They handle everything in-house. Design, production, and installation. From storefronts to fleet graphics. They're rated 5 stars for quality and fast turnaround. See why at Image360.com. Turn your vehicles into rolling billboards that work 24/7. Your vision handled. Image360.com.
This is Rob Wilhite of the Wilhite Law Firm. If you've been seriously injured in a truck or car wreck, you want Wilhite. Get your free case review now. We've been voted best personal injury law firm for the last 3 years in a row. Visit WilhiteWins.com and win big with Wilhite.
Universal has always been where your favorite stories come to life. Now, Universal has created a theme park especially for younger kids. A place where they can play with Shrek, go jellyfishing with SpongeBob, try to stay dry in a Minions water fight. 7 lands where kids are free to play their way. It's only at Universal Kids Resort, a theme park for all kid kind. Coming soon to Frisco, Texas.
New car, new tech, better gas mileage. Today's vehicles go farther on less. Hybrids, EVs, smarter engines. See your North Texas franchise dealer. KeepAmericaMoving.org.
The NBA playoffs are finally here, and Underdog is the best place to get in on the action because you can make picks and win money right now in Texas. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Get your picks right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. Download the app today and use the promo code Dunham to score $50 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code Dunham. Underdog. Make picks, win money.
Must be 18 or older and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-MY-RESET or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
The drinks are flowing, the FCC rules are loosened, and so are our lips and our pants during the Deep Night Ticket. Brought to you by Hagewood Property Tax Consultants and Sports Radio 96.7 and 1310, The Ticket.
From an undisclosed location in the Kingdom of Blaine Nye, this is Junior Coast to Coast, America's most provocative and least listened to radio program. Be warned, this is the radio show the government doesn't want you to hear. And now, here's the provocative and popular Junior Miller.
And welcome back to the program. Our first guest tonight is a man who is very familiar with the topic of Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti, But not just that creature, he's a cryptid expert who has written 4 books on the subject and produced several documentary films. And he speaks frequently on the subject at conventions around the country. And he's from Fort Worth. And we say good evening to Lyle Blackburn. Hi, Lyle.
Howdy. Thanks for having me.
Really appreciate the time. For years and years on this show, we had Larry Batson on as a Bigfoot expert. You probably crossed paths with Larry over the years. He passed away a couple of years ago. We were very sad to lose him, but we're happy to have you.
Well, thank you. I did know Larry. He was a great guy. He really was.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun to have on. And I've heard great things about you. I've talked to some people who have seen you speak, and I guess my first question for you is, when did you first develop an interest in these mysterious creatures?
Well, it dates back a long time. When I was young, I remember kind of gravitating towards movie monsters early on, and then around 3rd grade, I got a book called Strange But True, and it had chapters on Bigfoot, Yeti, Loch Ness Monster, and that really blew my mind because these were like monsters, but things you might see in real life. And my dad was a bow hunter. We spent a lot of time in the woods in Texas, and we camped. So that all sort of culminated when I saw a movie called The Legend of Boggy Creek, which dramatized sightings of a Sasquatch-like creature just across the border in Arkansas. And so from then on, I was just enthralled with that subject.
That's funny because, and you and I are about the same age, I also saw that movie when I was a kid. Came out sometime in the 70s, right?
Right, released in 72 and kind of was in theaters and TV all the way through the decade.
Yes, and that is what kindled my interest in this whole fascinating realm. And you have a particular interest in that story, The Legend of Boggy Creek, don't you?
Yeah, I do, and that was kind of close to home. So at some point, I'm kind of a musician and a writer all my life, and I really wanted to write a book. And I thought, what is my favorite subject or nonfiction? What would I really want to research? And I thought, man, The Legend of Boggy Creek. It was based on a true story, and it was scary and hairy and frightening. But, I wanted to know, what was it based on? What was the true sightings? Who were the people that claimed to have seen this creature? So I set out to write the book, and that was my first book, The Beast of Boggy Creek, which came out in 2012. And that's when I realized how many people loved the movie as much as I did, because the response was huge. And so ever since then, I've kind of become a historian, if you will, on that particular cryptid case.
And what were the particular details there?
Well, basically, the movie kind of dramatizes sightings from about 1955 through 1971, and it was really May of 1971 in which it all kind of broke public because a family had moved to this little town of Fouke, Arkansas, near Texarkana, where there have been rumors of a strange creature that lived down there in the Sulphur River bottoms, and on subsequent evenings, something was creeping around on their porch, and they ended up seeing this, what they described as an upright, hair-covered, man-like monster. And, they took after it with shotguns and this whole thing, and one of the members of the family was actually attacked by this creature, presumably, and sent to the hospital. And at that point, of course, you can't keep a lid on that. And the next day it was in the Texarkana Gazette. The news was there investigating. And then from there, the news kind of would document some old-timers that said, hey, this isn't new. We've been seeing a creature down here in this remote Sulphur River bottoms for years. And then there were many sightings after that in 1971. And that's what inspired Charles Pierce to make the movie very quickly thereafter, which debuted in 72. And that kind of, launched it to worldwide fame. Otherwise, it would have been a local story,
Right. This is Lyle Blackburn with us here. He is an author. He is a filmmaker. He's a musician. You can go to lyleblackburn.com if you want to check out his list of appearances. You're a busy guy. Also, you can read about his books. And I've often found that people who are open to these stories, people who are interested in these stories, these creatures, also leave themselves open to having experiences with these creatures because maybe they're looking for them. Have you yourself had any or many encounters with Sasquatch or any cryptid?
I actually have. And so, you find people in this field that are either just interested in it, or you find people who had maybe an encounter, and that's what, got them into it. For me, just like you, I just love the subject. Over the years, I've been out many, remote and areas where people have claimed sightings, and believe it or not, the best sighting, which is I've only had a couple of possible ones, was up there in the Fouke area. And in this case, I had been looking around in an area where some folks had claimed to see a pile of deer and hog bones, kind of a strange landmark. And I'm just poking around out there in the deep Sulphur River bottoms, and it was getting towards evening, and all of a sudden I just heard something walking through the woods, and I kind of turned, and I'm thinking, it's going to be a big hog or something like that. And I see a dark shape kind of move out from this thick undergrowth, and within seconds I see the full figure stand up, and it was very dark, black in color, very tall, walking upright, and moved between an open area of trees for maybe 3 or 4 seconds.
Wow.
And disappeared behind that. And in that time period, your mind goes from hog to it's a person to no, that's not a person. What the heck is it? And I ended up pursuing it, and whatever it was just took off, and it's just very thick down there, and I never saw it again. But it was just one of those things where you just have that revelation that, oh my God, I'm seeing what so many others in this area have reported, not just in the time of, the 50s and 60s and 70s, but there have been encounters reported of the Boggy Creek creature ongoing, all through these years. You get encounters. So I guess I saw it.
That's an incredible story, and I've never personally had an encounter, but I always wondered what I would do if I were in your position there at that time. Would I be more fascinated, or would I be more frightened? Do you remember?
Well, you can't predict how you're going to feel. You got it in your mind how you're going to react. And people are like, oh, how come you can't get a picture? It happens so fast and so unexpected. I had a researcher with me, so I was a little more brave, and we kind of took off after it. But if I'd have been there alone, I'll tell you, I've spent my whole life hunting and being in the outdoors, I'm familiar with just everything, but I think I would have felt some trepidation about what I was doing, and I probably may not have been willing to try to see it again.
Right. We talk a lot on this show about the Patterson film, 1967. It's probably the most famous film of an encounter out there. Do you have an opinion one way or the other on the Patterson film?
Well, I kind of try to be open-minded and skeptical, and I think it treads the line between the two. There's simply not enough resolution to say for sure one way or another. While in some regards it looks man-like, but for something filmed so far back, I mean, to be a hoax, it would have been very difficult. So, I want to believe that that's a real creature, and I am friends with Bob Gimlin, who I've come to know over the years, and he still stands behind what they saw there was a mysterious creature. So, I kind of lean towards it's real, but I'm open to whatever. If it is proven some other way, I can accept it, but that wouldn't disprove Bigfoot. There's so many other sightings that, and incredible sightings, so it wouldn't spoil the whole thing in a way.
Right. I'm with you. I like to believe that it's real because I like to believe that I've seen a Bigfoot on film at least, if not in person. I was looking at your list of appearances on your website, lyleblackburn.com, and I noticed in October you're going to be speaking at the Texas Bigfoot Conference, and also that month you'll be at the Lake Worth Monster Bash in Lake Worth, Texas. And I know you also have an affinity for that legend, the legend of the Lake Worth Monster, don't you?
Absolutely. I've since done a book on that creature because over the years, being from Fort Worth, so many people ask me about that case. So, it's one that dates back to 1969. And again, you have a number of people that claim to have seen some sort of what they described almost as either a goat man or a white-haired Bigfoot. But it wasn't just one person. And in the original article that came out July 10th, 1969 in the Star-Telegram that kind of blew that case open, that first encounter which John Reichert and his wife claimed that this thing had tried to attack them while they were at Greer Island. I never met John, but I did end up meeting his son, who was then telling me about what his father felt about that. And it is quite a credible sighting. So, that was one that is kind of local interest. And that Lake Worth Monster Bash, which they have at the Fort Worth Nature Center, it has the record for drawing the most people out there to the refuge of any of the events they do. So it just kind of tells you how popular these things are and how people love these mysterious monster stories.
Wow. Do you know how many sightings after 1969 of the Lake Worth Monster there have been, or have there been many others?
There were probably about, within that summer of 69, there were a good 10 individuals that had sightings. Now, on the night after that so-called attack, there were about 40 people out there and said they saw something run up on this ridge by the lake. That was 40 people saw that, and I'm not sure if that was a person or the creature, but regardless of that, there were other sightings. And then on November 19th, 1969, a young man and two people were driving down Lakeshore Drive, and they saw something stand up over in the grass near the road, and they got a picture of it. So unfortunately, it's kind of a blurry white something in that picture, but that kind of helped cement this legend. And then probably for the next 2 or 3 years, there were some sporadic sightings, and then it pretty much kind of died off. Unlike the Boggy Creek thing where you still have sightings, it was just kind of a concentrated time period.
Are there any other Lake Worth Monster type stories out there that aren't as well known around these parts that you find particularly interesting?
Yeah, there's a number of them. I wrote a book called Texas Bigfoot, and I explored sort of these cases that a lot of times, especially before Bigfoot terminology was popular, in Texas especially, nobody really thought about that. They would call them these local names like Lake Worth Monster, but there's the Hawley Hymn from Hawley, Texas, out near Abilene. That was in the 60s, in which quite a few people said they had seen sort of an upright, hair-covered Bigfoot-like creature. You've got the area of Caddo Lake out on the eastern side of Texas, in Marion County. And back in the 1960s and on into the 70s and 80s, there were quite a number of credible encounters in which people had claimed that these kind of creatures, a boy said it chased him. I met a witness who was out there in the 60s and 70s, and he and his brother had a very close sighting back in the Caddo Lake area. So that's kind of called the Caddo creature. And then along the Sabine River, there's one known as the Sabine Thing. Down in the Big Thicket, which is a very thickly wooded area of Texas, there's a creature called Old Mossyback. So there's a number of these, and I just love those localized names. They just sort of carry a personality beyond just sort of ubiquitous Bigfoot, you know.
Yes. We talk on this show a lot about UFOs and UAPs. Do you ever see in any of these stories or think, or maybe your gut tells you that there's a link here that some of these creatures are not from this earth, or do you think they're all from this earth?
Well, I mean, I've literally interviewed hundreds and hundreds of people that have claimed to see cryptids or, you know, mostly Bigfoot. Really, it's only been a handful of times in which somebody has linked that to a UFO sighting or anything else. I mean, typically it's just they're in a wooded area. There it is. So, you know, we have a tendency to kind of want to connect these unexplained phenomenon together, but I don't see enough evidence, and certainly talking to people, I just don't see enough connection to say that Bigfoot are from outer space. I mean, they're just so much of the descriptions are so man-like, so terrestrial, much like great apes and things we already have here. So I don't personally see a link, though certainly everything here is open to conjecture.
Absolutely. Lyle, great stuff. I really appreciate the time. Again, LyleBlackburn.com if you want to check out his list of appearances, videos, books. This was highly enjoyable. Let's do it again sometime.
Sounds good. Absolutely.
All right, take care. There he goes. Lyle Blackburn, noted cryptid expert, joining us here on Coast to Coast. All right, next we are going to open up the phones. We'll go Open Phones America. You can call us from anywhere, toll-free, 888-787-1310. Share your stories if you've had any encounters. I'll take any questions. Whatever you want to get into, we'll do that next.
Turn 2 with the ticket during Rangers season. Catch the TV voice of the Rangers, Dave Raymond, on the Musers. Wednesday mornings at 6:55. Then fire it over to Diamond Talk, our Rangers postgame show after every weeknight home game. It's our own doubleheader of hot sports opinions on the Rangers. And we didn't even pull our hammy legging it out to first. Sports Radio, 96.7 and 1310, The Ticket.
It's home selling season, and what's the biggest mistake you can make when selling your home? Settling for less money. That never happens with Orchard. Lowball offers can wear you down, causing you to settle for thousands less. You don't have to settle when you sell with an Orchard agent. Orchard reinvented the real estate industry by guaranteeing your home sale. Their local agents help you sell on the market for top dollar. First, Orchard gives you cash up front to buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then, once you're settled in, your Orchard agent helps sell your home on the market for top dollar. Here's what one customer said. I went under contract within 24 hours of my home listing, which was amazing. With Orchard, you never have to settle for less. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Curious how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Mother Nature, I finished my song for Go-Go.
Let's hear it, country boy.
He is the alpha predator of roaches, spiders, and ants. And because he's a gecko, he don't wear no pants. He's completely invisible, so bugs ain't got a chance. If bugs in your house are making you blue, put Go-Go Gecko to work for you. Go-Go Gecko. Go-Go Gecko. Go-Go Gecko. He's the T-Rex of insects. GoGoGecko.com. GoGoGecko.com.
John, I love it. And Go-Go's gonna love it too. You are definitely a Texan.
GoGoGecko.com.
I mean, come on. When you're buying a vehicle, you're focused on three things: quality, reliability, and value. And trust me, at Freeman Toyota, we deliver on all three. Hello, I'm Dane Miner, General Manager of Freeman Toyota. And when it comes to quality and reliability, nothing beats the 2026 Toyota Tacoma. And you can get one right now for just $287 a month. Think about that, $287 a month. That's real value, and it's why you should come see us at 183 and 820 or shop online at freemantoyota.com.
Call 866-277-6570 for details.
I'm U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. We all seem to be in a rush these days, from work to driving our kids around. But when you're behind the wheel, please do not speed. A few minutes saved by going faster is never worth the risk. So follow the speed limit, enjoy the drive, maybe bring some snacks for the kids, and know that along the way, you're getting quality time with your family.
Paid for by NHTSA.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
If you're a digital marketer, media seller, or marketing pro who's hungry for more growth, more income, more opportunity, this is your moment. Join the powerhouse brands of 96.7 and 1310 The Ticket, New Country 96.3, 99.5 The Wolf, WVAP, KLIF, and more. Sell radio, digital, and event marketing solutions. You can earn a great living and have fun. We're looking for driven, competitive, constant learners, ready to earn a great living. Put the power of legendary brands behind you. Apply today at cumulusmedia.com and succeed tomorrow. That's cumulusmedia.com.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
How does the defendant plead?
Guilty. Wait, what? Also, objection.
You object to what?
Erroneous.
Counsel, approach the bench.
Hey, can I get a whack at the gavel?
You wouldn't settle for just any lawyer, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. The Musers are brought to you by BetterHelp.
If you thought starting therapy might be too expensive, BetterHelp has some comforting information for you. BetterHelp now accepts insurance in Texas. As the leading online therapy platform, BetterHelp has served more than 6 million people globally with their network of over 30,000 fully licensed therapists. BetterHelp is in network with major health plans including United Healthcare, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas, Cigna, Aetna, and more.
To get started, visit BetterHelp.com to fill out a quick questionnaire to check your insurance coverage. Within minutes, you'll find out if you qualify. BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you, letting you focus on your therapy goals. Therapy in Texas may cost less than you think. Fill out the questionnaire and check your coverage today at BetterHelp.com/musers.
That's BetterHelp.com/musers. Average copay is based on eligible members. Actual cost and coverage may vary by plan.
The Ticket is the big spoon. You're the little one. Let's listen together to Deep Night Ticket. Brought to you by Hagewood Property Tax Consultants and Sports Radio 96.7 and 1310. The Ticket.
From an undisclosed location in the Kingdom of Blaine Nye, this is Junior Coast to Coast, America's most provocative and least listened to radio program. Be warned, this is the radio show the government doesn't want you to hear. And now, here's the provocative and popular Junior Miller.
Wow, what a show we've had so far. We reviewed the recently released UFO UAP files, previously covered up by the Pentagon. We just had a great visit talking about Bigfoot with Lyle Blackburn, noted cryptid expert. And if that wasn't enough, how about this? Before we go to your Open Phone America calls and get your stories of encounters, any questions you might have about UFOs, Bigfoot, and other paranormal activities, you may have seen this news story recently where the noted country music superstar Casey Musgraves was on a flight from Fort Worth to Nashville, and she spotted a UFO. She released a statement, little video on Instagram describing it, and so she has had an encounter. And ladies and gentlemen, this is quite a get for Coast to Coast. Joining us now is Casey Musgraves. Good evening.
Hi, Craig. Do you have me?
We do. Thank you so much. I didn't know you were a listener to the show.
Oh, yeah. I've been listening to The Ticket for a long time. Way before I was famous. I remember it was when I was a kid. We went to Disneyland, and I got really bad diarrhea, and then I was back in Fort Worth, and my dad turned on the radio, and it was on The Ticket. I've been a fan ever since.
Okay. I'm not sure we needed that Disneyland story, but you're not shy about sharing your issues with your bowels, are you?
No, I'm not, Craig, and I think that's what makes me so relatable. And there's a lot of guys who like that, who like that I talk about it.
Really?
And yeah, I understand that there's even one on y'all's radio program.
Maybe
because of my sewage seepage issues.
That might be George. He's a big fan.
Oh yeah, it is George, isn't it? He's in the bird dog.
Yeah, the bird dogs. Yes.
Yeah, the bird dog.
Yeah. Well, Casey, tell us about this UFO sighting.
I mean, it was like the craziest thing that happened to me. It was like back in April, and I've seen a lot of crazy stuff in my life. You know, I've seen fire burning in the sky. I've seen three-headed toad.
Really?
I've seen an Asian woman who could drive pretty well. But
right.
Now, I mean, I've seen this thing that I saw back in April. It just completely confounded me, Craig.
What did it look like?
Well, it was all right. I don't know how much you know about the story, but let me do the scene setter on this. It was a Tuesday, so I had really bad diarrhea.
Sure.
And I was on this private plane. It was going to be a flight from Fort Worth, Texas, to Nashville.
Correct.
Okay?
Yep.
Can you picture that?
Yes.
Picture the diarrhea. Picture the plane. Picture Fort Worth to Nashville.
Focusing more on the plane.
And I was about to lay down to take a nap, and I start feeling my gut start burbling a little bit. You know, something was cooking up that was bad.
Again.
Down there.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, I've got to go to the bathroom on this plane, even though we have a no number 2 rule on the private, luxury jet. But you know how it is, Craig. When nature calls, you got to answer that phone.
You got to go.
You got to go. So I'm in the plane bathroom, which has a big picture window. It had a bay window.
Wow.
In the bathroom, and I'm looking out, and I done seen these lights out in. They were like these orbs. You know what an orb is?
Yes.
It's like a round thing or something.
Right.
And I look out, and there's all these orbs. There's like either 6 or half a dozen, I'm not sure, of these orbs, and they was like tracking the plane.
And that's what you done seen?
Yeah, I done seen it. And they were making these, first they make like a triangle. They're making all kinds of patterns that are like geometry patterns.
Wow.
And like a circle and a star. And there's one of them that has 3 sides, and someone told me the name of it once, and I can't remember it.
Probably triangle.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
Yeah, and so they were making all these different shapes, and then they were changing colors. They started off as like orange, and then they changed to like blood red, and then they changed to like clear colored, and then
Clear
back
colored?
orange, yeah, and then red, white, and blue, and then they got into like a formation that was well, you know, it's like the standard formation of a sleeve-stack's penis.
Oh, I didn't realize. Yeah, I didn't realize that you witnessed that.
Yeah, and you know, so I'm on that potty in the plane, just pushing out a massive cow patty out of my cattle backside, and you know.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
Yeah, this is serious. I mean,
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't mean to
these
laugh.
things could have killed me.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, and so I'm in that bathroom, and stuff's just getting everywhere. I mean, it looked like an explosion.
Oh, dear.
It looked like someone hit a septic tank with an RPG.
Oh, Casey.
Yeah, and but these orbs, they're doing all kind of crazy stuff, and it happened. I don't know if this is pertinent to your listeners, but it happened like right over Little Rock. Does that mean anything to you, or?
No, not really. No.
But so, and then they start telepathically communicating with me.
Wow.
Yeah, it was almost like a chant, but it wasn't actual sound. It was, you know, almost like telepathy or something.
What were they saying?
It was like it was a chant that was saying, we praise your backside mudslide. We praise your backside mudslide. We
Wow.
praise your backside mudslide. Yeah.
Wow, I just
And
got chills.
There's just something, and I don't know what it is. It's the same thing that attracts that Bird Dogs lead singer.
Right.
But something about my diarrhea cauldron just really called them into being around my plane.
That's amazing. Even beings from other worlds are drawn to that.
Other worlds, other dimensions, other time. I don't know where they're from, Craig. I just know that I know what I saw, and I know what they communicated to me, and that was that they appreciated my girly sewer pit.
Well, again, I don't mean to laugh, Casey, because I know it was probably quite a scary experience for you.
Yeah,
but both what was happening.
You're kind of pissing me off laughing. I mean,
Well, and I apologize. I know.
This
I
hurt.
apologize.
I had some horrible kolaches, and it was really hurting.
Well, Casey, I can't thank you enough for sharing this story and the details. I find them fascinating, and we're all big fans of your music. And
thank you, Craig.
Gosh, it's so great to have you on the show.
Hey, I'm so happy to be on the ticket. Like I said, it was a girlhood diarrhea haver's dream come true.
Okay, well, I'm glad we could make that dream come true. Again, I apologize for laughing at any moment. Or there's funny stuff going on out here, and it's distracting me.
No problem, Craig. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Casey,
and I'll
thank
be
you.
listening.
Okay, I appreciate it. There she goes.
Okay.
The Grammy-winning country music superstar Casey Musgrave sharing her UFO experience from just last month on her private plane as she was headed to Nashville. Incredible stuff. Wow, what a show we have had. Why don't we take a couple of calls now from you, our loyal listening audience. And apparently Casey is among you. Let's go east of the Rockies. You're on Junior Coast to Coast. Good evening. Hello, east of the Rockies. Why don't we try west of the Rockies? Hi, you're on Junior Coast to Coast. Good evening.
Junior.
Hello.
Junior, hi.
Hi.
It's Art Bell Jr. I'm actually east of the Rockies. Thanks for your courage.
You bet.
Got 4 things. What exciting times.
4.
My dad, Art Bell Sr., would be proud of what you're doing to get this uncovered truth. I'm in between Portage, Ohio, and Kinzu, PA, and there's a ton of Bigfoot activity right now that started around May.
That's a hotbed.
It's a hotbed, and the other thing I'm seeing right now is a lot of reports of UFO activity, and I just wanted to get your thoughts because I think what we have here. Previous guest was talking about whether these are interdimensional beings. I think Bigfoot is probably an interdimensional being, and the other thing I'm seeing is a lot of scat lately in the area, and Stacey Musgraves is on tour right now, and I'm wondering if she's involved in this somehow.
All right, thank you for your call. I tend to agree with our guest from the last half hour, Lyle Blackburn, and that I don't think there is a connection between visitation from other worlds, space aliens, and Bigfoot. I think Bigfoot is a creature of this earth. Not that there aren't creatures like Bigfoot on other planets. I just don't think that the ones that we've seen here have traveled from other planets. There are no, to my understanding, credible sightings of Bigfoot with a phaser on his side or stepping out of a flying saucer or anything like that. Wearing a uniform that, if you were familiar with Star Trek, a Klingon might wear or something, I've never heard any link like that would make us think that Bigfoot has come from another world. So I tend to agree with Lyle. I think they're from right here. And that's okay with me. Let's go to the wild card line. You're on Junior Coast to Coast. Good evening.
Junior.
Good evening.
I'm going to make this quick. I can hear the drones circling outside of me. Do you believe Bigfoot could potentially be using AI to colonize underground around where that previous caller is in Ohio to never be seen again by humans?
Wow. You just gave me chills because I had not thought about that possibility. As we all know, Bigfoot is highly intelligent, which is why we have never captured a Bigfoot. They know us better than we know ourselves. And so would I doubt that they have now started to investigate and maybe even use AI to further their potential dominance on this planet? Wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't put anything past them. The stories that I've heard over the years, the people who've had close encounters, we've had many of them on this show. I think we all know that we're dealing with a highly intelligent being here. So you combine Bigfoot with AI, man, that's scary. I'll just tell you right now, that's scary. Thanks for your call. We got to run. It's 9:14. Why don't we take another break? We'll take some more calls from around America and around the world next on Coast to Coast.
It's like the first pitch before a baseball game. We have to crack open our first beer of Camp Pound.
Things are wild and in the woods.
Here's to Camp Pound. Here's to our livers.
During the Muser's Ticket Camp Pound.
What year did they win?
I think 71 Super Bowls.
71.
71
Okay.
season, Super Bowl 6. But one quick thing.
Yeah.
The year before, the 70 season, 71 Super Bowl, what if Craig Morton had won that?
Sportsing is so hard at the Camp Pound.
We'd be in a completely different world right now. Things would be so different.
That'd be terrible if he got laid out on the first day of the flipping Camp Pound, wouldn't it?
He just reared his fist back at me.
He did, and you deserve that.
God.
Brought to you by Hagewood Property Tax Consultants and Sports Radio 96.7 and 1310, The Ticket.
Are your allergies driving you crazy this spring? Well, your air conditioner could be part of the problem. I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning, and right now in North Texas, pollen and dust levels are through the roof. And without the right air filtration, all of that pollen ends up moving through your home and into the air you breathe. And that's why during our spring clean air event, when you install a qualifying high-efficiency system, Reliant Air Conditioning will include a complete clean air package for free. And that includes a UV light, an air scrubber, and a hospital-grade air filtration system. That's a $3,750 value, included at no additional cost. And during our spring clean air event, you can also save with manufacturer rebates and special financing. So call us at 877-YOUR-HERO or schedule your free estimate online at ReliantAirConditioning.com and see how we've been gimmick-free since '83.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Vivint and Reliant working smarter together? Talk about the ultimate dream team. Together, they can help protect your family, make your home smarter, and track your energy savings, all in one place. If it's under your roof, it's under your command. A smarter home and smarter energy. Now that's a dynamic duo. Learn more at Vivint.com or call 1-855-4VIVINT. Vivint and Reliant. Smarter together.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen carefully.
John, I'm running for governor.
As what?
As a gecko.
What party are you affiliated with?
John, I'm affiliated with all the parties. The birthday party, the Christmas party, the New Year's Eve party, all of them.
What are you going to do for the people of Texas?
I'm going to make Texas mosquito-free. Mosquitoes will be go-go gone.
What else will you do as Governor Go-Go?
I'm going to swap Houston for New Orleans.
He is the solution to mosquito pollution. Give Go-Go a call and your mosquitoes will fall. And he will swap Houston for New Orleans.
I'm Go-Go Gecko, and I approve this message.
Why don't you join with them?
This week is a good time to do it.
GoGoGecko.com. GoGoGecko.com. Go-Go-Go-Go-Go-Go-Gecko.
At Methodist Health System, you'll find advanced women's care. From multi-specialty support to delivery and postpartum care. We'll be here to support you. From bump to baby and beyond. That's our commitment to complete women's care. And why so many women trust Methodist.
We're all tucked in, listening to the Deep Night Ticket, with our hands tucked between these two pillows. Brought to you by Hagewood Property Tax Consultants and Sports Radio 96.7 and 1310, The Ticket.
From an undisclosed location in the Kingdom of Blaine Nye, this is Junior Coast to Coast, America's most provocative and least listened to radio program. Be warned, this is the radio show the government doesn't want you to hear. And now, here's the provocative and popular Junior Miller.
Welcome back to Junior Coast to Coast. I've been reading about this spate of Bigfoot sightings recently in Portage County, Ohio. We had a couple of calls about those. There have been many reports, and almost all of them have identified the creature that they have seen as over 8 feet tall. 8 foot tall, hairy figures in the wooded areas of Portage County, Ohio. Wow. So that Bigfoot could play Wemby straight up and probably have no problems with the Spurs' third-year center. All right, we're in the middle of Open Phone America, 888-787-1310. I've got a story about an experience with my own urine that I'd like to tell here in just a few minutes, but let's take some more calls. I'm settling in for what feels like it could be a very long evening. We might go deep into the night on this edition of Junior Coast to Coast. Back to the phones and west of the Rockies. You're on Coast to Coast. How are you?
Is this Craig Junior Jones Millerman?
Yes, who is this?
My name is Rutkiv.
Rutkiv?
Rutkiv.
Okay.
There is something very significant about my name, but enough about me. We have had our eye on you, Junior, June's Mirror Man, for a very long time.
Am I having an experience right now with a being from another world?
Well, this is where it gets interesting. If the previous callers have given you chills, prepare to never be warm again in your life.
Okay.
Because not only have my ancestors been from other planets, we have been on Earth since the 50s. Yes, we have been with you. Yes, but here's the key, and we have decided to make ourselves known to you now, because it is now that you are going to play a critical role in our plan.
Okay.
You see, we have secretly been developing AI and robotics. Bigfoots for years have been our doing. We released them in the world, but not until recently have we come into great success. Victor Wembiyama is our creation.
Wow.
And we need your help to keep this a secret.
You want me to keep that a secret?
Yes.
I don't think I can do that. I think you've broken big news here on the show.
Yes. For years we have failed with the Bigfoot. We have tried to make them hairless and a little more inconspicuous. Up until now, we have failed. Victor is our greatest success.
Yes, because you've now created someone that size that has a crossover dribble and can hit from 3.
Yes, it is very critical that we infiltrate Earth sports. We are thinking about jockeys next.
Wow, okay. Man, this is quite a master plan you have. Okay, thank you so much for the call. Wow, was that amazing. We were all here to listen to that and to be witnesses to their plan. But the one mistake they made, they wanted all of us to keep it under wraps. I don't think that's going to happen. They shouldn't have come on a show with 320 million listeners. Let's go to the wild card line. You're on Junior Coast to Coast. Good evening.
Junior, can you hear me?
Yes, I have you.
Junior, this is Ed calling from deep in the Olympic Mountains in the Pacific Northwest. This is my 4th year calling, and I wanted to give you an update on Richard, the Sasquatch I had mentioned that I had kind of befriended over the years, and he's kind of brought me into his group and family and let them, observe them from a distance.
Yes, I've been hoping that you would call this show tonight.
Well, I have got some updates for you. It's been quite a year as now that he's accepted me. I've gotten to observe his family and his growings and his ongoings. And I do have a couple questions for you. Do you believe the Sasquatch? I'm not sure what their animal genera is, but do you believe they're able to communicate with other animals in the Pacific Northwest?
I do. I think it's a regional thing. I don't think that Bigfoot could travel to Miami and be able to communicate with gators, but I do believe they can communicate with animals in their region.
Well, I've noticed that Richard's partner, I'm not sure what the correct term is, but I noticed that this partner is kind of like looking lovingly into the ocean, trying to look for orcas, and I didn't know if orcas had a communication between Sasquatches or not.
Maybe. Do you feel like Richard's partner is tiring of Richard and would rather be with a whale?
I mean, one can only assume. I mean, it's very unique to just observe her, I guess, longing for, and I seem there's a distance and, her wanting to be part of the ocean. But I've also noticed that, Richard's kind of brought in some of his other family members, this other gentleman, or I'm not sure what to call him, but maybe it might be his brother or something. But
right.
Their family's kind of growing, and it's become a little disturbing to see, what's as I guess the human footprint has gone more into the Pacific Northwest, and they're observing, I guess maybe human cultures are seeing me, and I I see them making guttural noises like ho, ho, ho and stuff. And I'm like, well, maybe they're imitating us. I'm not quite sure.
And they don't mind you being around.
Well, I try not to overstay my visit. I come for, a short time of the year, and I try not to infringe on their territory, but
Right.
they seem to become
Smart.
more acceptant. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Fascinating stuff. I can't thank you enough for the update on Richard. Call us next year, and good luck when you're out there, and don't let your guard down around them, because they appear to be welcoming to you, but they are 7 feet, 8 feet tall. They're 20 times as strong as we are. Don't let your guard down.
Well, Richard, I appreciate that. Richard seems to be tall, but, sometimes he takes it for granted.
Yeah, I could see that. All right, thank you. Always good to hear from you from the Pacific Northwest. Let's go east of the Rockies. You're on Junior Coast to Coast.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I can.
First off, I want to thank you for the work that you do. It's impressive, and it goes without saying that you're very much appreciated.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
If I could share with your viewers my latest abduction, and maybe you can decipher what I'm to think after this experience of mine.
Sure.
I'm from White Rock Lake, Texas, and when I came to after this abduction, I was on what appeared to be a table of some kind, being outfitted to the uniform that we'll say they, are adorned with. And that would be a G-string, a cardigan sweater, and turtleneck.
Can I make something clear here? This is a space alien abduction, not a Bigfoot abduction, correct?
Absolutely, sir.
Yes.
Absolutely. This is a space alien abduction.
Okay.
And they had an ambassador on hand to translate to me. So that was very helpful, and I'm thankful for it. And that was Rod Carew.
Rod Carew, the Minnesota Twins legend.
Yes. Odd, but very helpful.
Fascinating.
What I do recall, sir, is something very distinct, and it applies to the G-string. They did not formally handshake one another when the life form would greet another life form. They would take their back end flaps and press them together to the guest or friend that they would see along the way and touch backside flaps as a form of greeting one another.
Did they do this with just each other, or did they do this with you and Rod Carew?
All of the above. All of the above, sir.
Wow,
this was
I've never heard of that.
Yes, that was their form of saying hello to one another.
Wow.
Don't know what to make of this, but they did take a stool sample as well, and as you would probably imagine they would, right?
Right.
And I had just had a lot of corn, so I don't know what they're going to decipher. I don't know what they're going to take from that. But
did they let you produce that sample, or did they go in and get it?
They went in and got it.
Oh, my God.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Did. Well, I just don't know what they're going to find. It was quite traumatic. And
yes,
as you can imagine.
I'm sure it was. Thank you for sharing that story, and I hope you're doing okay. If you need any help, reach out. I probably won't return your call or email, but still reach out because I am concerned. All right, let's try wild card line. Hi, you're on Junior Coast to Coast.
Junior?
Yes.
Oh, hey, cool. Couldn't tell if I was on. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Thanks for what you do. Yeah, it's one of my favorite segments. I think George and Ori and Art Bell would be proud, so thanks for having me on.
Appreciate that very, very much.
So I'm going to try to keep this brief. I know you got a clock, but my late grandfather was a pilot in the Air Force during the Vietnam War, and he had 3 daughters. That was his first grandson. My mom and my aunt say he never talked about the war and all that stuff, but when I got old enough, he would tell me a lot of stories, and this is one of those, and it's one I've always wanted to share with you, but I'll make it brief. On one particularly long road trip, he told me about a time he was flying a routine mission, a training mission with another wingman flying alongside him, and at some point during that mission, a cigar-shaped object flew between the two of the aircraft, making maneuvers he knew were impossible for the late 60s, classic stuff, no windows, exhaust, all that.
Right.
Wingman radios over to my granddad's call sign, which was Silver Fox, asking him, his last name was Fox, asking him if he had seen what the wingman was seeing. My grandfather, saying he had heard of this type of stuff from other flyboys, lied, said he didn't see anything, didn't know what he was talking about, because he knew either they were being recorded or they were close enough to their destination that the air traffic control could hear them. But long story short, they land, and this is the creepiest part to me about it. And this is like a stoic, no BS, like wartime man who like barely laughed. And he told me that when they landed, black vehicles pull up to the strip, take the wingman away, and they asked my granddad if he had seen anything, but he lied and said he didn't. Granddad says weeks go by, he doesn't see the wingman, but when the wingman returned, he wouldn't talk about at all what happened or where he'd been, but Granddad got him drunk at a pilot's bar, and the guys told him everything. Wingman says that Men in Black took him to some undisclosed location, threatened him, forced him to sign documentation, like attributing the signing to some natural phenomenon, and that he'd never speak of what he saw again, or he'd kicked out of the Air Force or worse.
Wow.
But yeah, again, this is just from a very stoic, no BS wartime man, and I've just always wanted to share that story with you.
So, do you think that what he saw was something from another world, or was it from our military that they didn't want him to know?
So, I mean, I asked him, obviously, and my grandfather, again, I mean, I've, not to beat a dead horse, but being the way he was, his opinion was that it was not aliens, that it was just, I don't think he could fathom that, but he said that, it must be some, military craft that, we didn't want, even those pilots to know about. He also made mention of knowing flyboys at the time that had this special patch that meant that they'd gone higher or maybe into like the outer atmosphere that they shouldn't have because they weren't, astronauts or anything. So that was his opinion. But, it certainly was fascinating for me to hear from him. And yeah, whether I agree or not, I don't know, but that was what he thought.
Wow. Fascinating for all of us to hear as well. Thank you. Thank you for coming forward. Great stuff there. All right, we're just settling in for a very, very long night here on Junior Coast to Coast. Right now, before we go to break, I'd like to talk urine, if I may. I recently found myself in a bit of a pickle. I was on a long hike. I stumbled upon a campsite that appeared to belong to a Bigfoot family. But I noticed that their water bottles were empty. Having an affinity for the creatures, I shared my water with them. I took whatever I had and poured it into their water bottles so that they'd have a nice surprise when they returned. But later on my hike, I ran out of water. I wasn't thinking ahead. There I was alone in the high desert wilderness for hours. I was starting to lose my wits, and I knew the answer: urine. I tinkled into my water bottle, cutting off the head and tail of the snake, as you're supposed to do, and I consumed it, and I have never felt better. Proving once again that... Hold on, what is that noise? Why do I hear helicopters? What? Hey, Rolf. Rolf, no, not this Rolf, the other Rolf. Rolf, what do you see out there? Someone... Okay, I'm being told by my security guards that there's been a breach on the perimeter. Well, here we go. I thought we were going to have a long night of broadcasting, but apparently they're going to try to shut us down. I apologize. Okay, this looks like a lot of personnel. This looks like a lot of personnel coming in. I apologize to our listening audience. This is going to be overwhelming for my security team. Hey, will you let me go? Secretary Hegseth let me go. I demand...
Copy one in custody.
What's your name? One in custody.
Lincoln 2, address is 1221 West Mineral Avenue. Command is at 1241 West Mineral Avenue.
Junior? Hey! No, you can't be in here! Hey!
It's graduation season on the ticket. If you're a P2 or even a marginal P3 and you've done your prerequisite listening, it's time to walk across the stage and graduate to P1 status. There's no pomp and circumstance. Just move your ticket tassel from right to left and listen longer, more often every day to the station that educates you with hot sports opinions, sports insiders, funny bits, and those wheels-off moments of extra credit you earn. From the station that laughs at summa cum laude, Sports Radio 96.7 and 1310, The Ticket.
Guys, I'm Devin. I'm a nurse practitioner. I'm the clinical director of our new location in Men's Tea Alliance. I'm trying to tell you guys to come in, stop the cycle of treating symptoms without getting to the root cause. Come in, have a conversation with me. We'll get your biomarkers. We'll get you an individualized plan to help get you to your goals and get you optimized.
They will customize a treatment plan for you just like they did for me 6 years ago to get you back to being you. You guys heard Devin? Check them out today. 6 convenient Men's Tea DFW locations. Go to mensteaclinic.com, mensteaclinic.com.
Texans enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to get Texas-sized savings. Kroger, Texas proud since 1955. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
You can get Texas-sized savings on USDA Choice untrimmed beef brisket. They're sold whole in bag and are just $3.99 a pound with your card. Limit 1. Kroger, Texas proud since 1955.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen. Like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank. NA member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Mother Nature, I finished my song for Go-Go.
Let's hear it, country boy.
He is the alpha predator of roaches, spiders, and ants. And because he's a gecko, he don't wear no pants. He's completely invisible, so bugs ain't got a chance. If bugs in your house are making you blue, put Go-Go Gecko to work for you. Go-Go Gecko. Go-Go Gecko. Go-Go Gecko. He's the T-Rex of insects. GoGoGecko.com. GoGoGecko.com.
John, I love it. And Go-Go's gonna love it too. You are definitely a Texan.
GoGoGecko.com.
My name is Shadow, and 3 years ago I had CLR at Clearsight, and it was the best decision ever. I used to have reading glasses stashed everywhere. My purse, my car, my kitchen counter. I was, constantly losing them and buying new ones. My kids used to laugh at me when we would go out to eat because I would hold the menu way out here or use my flashlight. Since I had CLR, everything I do is easy again. It's incredible. My only regret is that I didn't do it sooner. I can't recommend Clearsight enough.
Thank you, Shadow. Stories like that are exactly why we do this. I'm Dr. Luke with Clearsight LASIK and Lens.
And I'm Dr. Anna. You don't have to put up with cheap readers anymore. If you've been putting off ditching reading glasses, make this your year. Get CLR.
We stand by every procedure we perform. 2020 or it's free, and you're going to love what you see.
Don't wait. Schedule your free consultation today. Clearsight LASIK and Lens. Call 214-380-2020 or visit clearsight.com.
David Mino here for Frankel & Frankel, your go-to car and truck wreck attorneys here in Dallas for over 30 years. When you're injured, they fight to get you the medical attention you need and the money you deserve. The consultation's free, and you pay nothing until Frankel & Frankel wins your case. The phone number, you probably know it, 214 or 817, and then all threes. That's 214 or 817-333-3333. Or go to frankelfirm.com. Frankel & Frankel, chosen by the people, feared by the insurance companies.
Call Frankel first. FRENKEL.
This is your special time to snuggle up with the ticket guys on Deep Night Ticket. Brought to you by Hagewood Property Tax Consultants and Sports Radio 96.7 and 1310, The Ticket.
Well, hello. It's Deep Night here at the Musers Ticket Compound. Still brought to you by Hegwood Group Property Tax Consultants. Always. You have me, Matt McLaren, and you have Dave Lane. And everybody else is literally smoking something. Cigars. Yes. Not blunts. No, it's legal inhalation. Yes.
They are trickling in.
You didn't smoke a cigar, did you?
No.
You're not a cigar guy?
No, it makes my tummy hurt.
Yeah, I don't like the way it makes my mouth feel afterwards.
I mean,
really
it's a
dry
very,
and,
very rare occasion that I will dive into a cigar.
I don't like to inhale things.
Well, I mean, you're not fully inhaling a cigar.
Right, but just
you're supposed to just
taste it.
Have
you
the
taste
mouthfeel.
the smoke.
But if you don't like the mouthfeel, and that's the whole point, then that's
correct.
Probably not for you.
One, two.
I'm a big fan of certain mouthfeels.
Hello.
Yeah, that's
All right.
I'm a once a year cigar smoking guy.
Well, I'm glad I was here for that.
Maybe
that was cool.
Maybe once every 5, but it felt right.
This was courtesy of the Jubbinator. He
smoked the cigar.
He got a bunch of cigars for everybody.
And he said that the cost was $9 a cigar.
Okay,
That's
which
pretty
I like.
impressive.
I like.
Yeah.
Thrifty.
And they're local.
What if I told you? I mean, I don't know
From
what
Cuba.
cigars cost. I have no idea.
Right.
Nine's about average, I'd say.
Yeah.
How much is a Cuban? Like if you get somebody
it
goes,
like
hey, you
$200?
want a Cuban cigar? Is that super fancy expensive?
I mean, you can't.
$200
you can't
so
buy
I get
them
like 6 of
stateside,
them?
right?
Like a box
so you
of
have
them's
to.
pretty pricey.
I thought you could have somebody smuggle them in for you or something. They did that with cocaine.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know.
If you can get cocaine,
Cuban.
you can get a
Right.
Cuban.
Yeah.
Cuban cigar rules. Did you see Cuba their oil reserves are out and they're may not have power? They may disappear as a country.
What did they say?
Well, that's the perfect
Like
time for
Aquarius.
us to go back in
and get infielders.
Take
well, yeah,
revenge.
let's get every middle infielder we can.
Solve the Rangers' second base problem.
Right, just fly in there with multiple helicopters and then zip out.
Isn't there an airline that flies there?
Cuba?
American Airlines?
Yeah. Like an actual airline
I'm
from
sure
America.
American, yeah.
Yeah, we're allowed to go there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's a pain in the ass to go there, but you are allowed to go there.
And it's stuck like in the 1960s, right?
Yeah,
they haven't imported a car
Right,
since
yeah.
1960 or something.
That's a trip, man.
70?
I don't know when the last cars they were able
But
to
yes,
import.
when we see roadside shots from the 60s and 70s car-wise, we're like,
Yeah.
oh, wow,
Yeah.
that's cool. Well, that's Cuba now.
Yeah.
Didn't Conan do a series of shows in Cuba? And they were featuring just
Yeah, I
how
think you're
everybody
right,
has
yeah.
a car from the 60s,
Right.
basically.
And somehow they still run just fine.
Like
how
he
does
did
that
his
work?
actual show.
I think so, yeah.
Sounds right.
And if they don't have any oil, how do they have oil changes?
Well, that's another problem. I don't know.
Synthetic.
That's why
Could be.
That's why we need to
That's
go.
what I put in my car.
Right. We should go.
Why is Killer bringing?
Why don't
more
we do
beer?
the compound in Cuba next year?
He's switching refrigerators.
Cuba,
That was-
right?
That Vector beer was in another fridge. He's bringing it in.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
we can all enjoy
So
it.
it's 4 steps
and not
closer.
just Gordy.
Yeah.
By the way, folks, just looked it up. You cannot do tourism in Cuba. You must do it for either family visits or business activities.
Okay.
Right. So we would go there
Right.
for a
So,
business
well, that's what we were
activity.
talking about.
Thanks, EA.
We
Doing
go
the
get
compound.
our middle infielders. That's business.
Yeah.
Right.
That's our business.
Just
When
fly
we-
Ross Finstermaker down to Cuba.
Well, no. We have one of those Rambo helicopters.
Or Kip
and
Fag.
We've got someone.
Definitely Kip Fag.
Gotta be awesome.
He's more on
Kip
the
Fag
amateur
still
side.
We're manning everything.
Yeah, he's still with the team.
And we could get one of those bows and arrow, but the arrow has a bomb on the end of it like he had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where guys just explode when the arrow hits them.
You know what? I feel like that
That was
I've
badass.
I feel like I've made a really high level Stallone friend this weekend with you. I feel like that you like Rambo and Rocky almost as much as I do, but not quite. You're not quite as knowledgeable. The fact that you didn't know that,
but he's worth mentoring.
That Rocky was 57 and 24.
Yeah, like you didn't know that
I'm
Rocky
sorry.
when he was given his